That's what happens when you have too much fun. I don't even know where I got the cold from, to be honest with you. Just got back and going back to work. Hey, Miss Dainty, how are you? Hi, everyone. Happy new month. Happy month of August. It is my birthday month. Actually, my birthday is in 2 weeks from Thursday, by God's grace. Come on in. Say hello. Hey, Miss Avena, how are you? Say hello when you come on. Let us know where you're joining in from, what city, what state, what country, because people actually do join in from other countries. Um, Hello, T. Joel, my baby boy. Someone was like, he's not a baby. I know it's not a baby, but he's my baby. Don't like it? Too bad. Thank you. Hello, T. Joel. Don't you think it's bedtime? Hello, Anthony Sanders. How are you? It's been a while. Welcome back. How have you been? Thank you, Miss Oyefeso. It's going to be chapter 47 by God's grace. Can't complain. Grateful, thankful, heart full of gratitude. God has been faithful. Hello, Kwame from Atlanta. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. Welcome in. Um, Bear with me. My voice is I've got a cold, so my voice is kind of like husky and all that. Uh, thank you. And my baby boy and I. So TJ is August 20. He's been my sidekick from the day he was born. His birthday is August 20. Mine is August 21. So I literally, hey, Miss Under Sanctuary, literally was in the hospital on the day of my birthday because I was giving birth. The story of a mother, I'm telling you, is like, yeah. But anyway, count it all joy. Greatest blessing. Good evening. How are you? Greatest blessing. So can't complain. Welcome in. Welcome to a month of favor, a month of breakthroughs, a month of testimonies, a month of God turning impossibilities to possibilities. We are going to walk with favor, with grace, with mercy, with abundance this month. In spite of what could have been in the previous 7 months, we know that God is going to visit us with favor and kindness and abundance. We're not going to labor in vain. This is no, I'm still good with the abundant care. He's right by my bedside. I tell hello, Mr. Kelvin. This is our month of prosperity, a month of testimonies, a month of celebration. It's going to be divine testimonies, divine celebrations. In spite of what the first 7 months of 2025 could have looked like, God is going to visit you, each and every one of us at the point of our needs. If you think like, okay, you've been hearing everyone's story, if people are having their own testimonies and celebrations and all that, and you're like, okay, when is it going to be my turn? It's the vision is here for an appointed time. To everything there is a season. Your turn is going to be coming. God is not a God, or he doesn't rush things. He's going to do things. He does things so that it's perfection. Your testimony, my testimony, is going to be perfected in spite of the news you may have received, in spite of the previous occurrences. There is going to be light at the end of the tunnel, as they always say, because we know that we serve a God who is able to turn things around just like that. So it may not look like it's going to work out in your favor, but don't let anything distract you from keeping that focus on God and God alone, not in man, because man cannot help any of us, but on God and God alone, knowing that there's no one that puts their trust in him that's ever failed. There's no one that puts their trust in him that has ever been disappointed. All power belongs to him. And because he has said whatever he says that he has spoken shall be fulfilled. Whatever conviction you have and I have within my spirit that God has spoken concerning me, concerning you, concerning each and every one of us, concerning our immigration statuses, concerning our future, concerning our finances, concerning our children, no man or woman can undo. But you have to have the faith knowing that it's going to come to pass. It's not about when, it's not about if, it's about when. And God knows when, but what is expected from us is for us to continue to have that faith, because that is the currency of heaven. That's the currency in which we use to talk to God and to worship and to praise. It is faith, knowing that He's able to do exceedingly abundantly, that He's going to do that which He has promised for. So this month of August, we're going to rejoice. We're going to celebrate. As you celebrate with other people's successes, it will be your turn for other people to gather and celebrate with each and every one of us. And so shall it be. In Jesus' name. Welcome, everyone. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 Omobabasam. I'm an immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If you've got an immigration case, if it's a case stop that we handle, we will be glad, we will be honored to represent you. Oh, by the way, before I forget, if you've been trying to get a hold of us throughout the day, our phone lines have been down. They're still working on it, so hopefully by tomorrow we're up and running. But our phone lines have been down since I'm not tired, Mr. Secretary, I just have a cold. The phone lines have been down since noon today, so they said there was some kind of outage and all that. We've never had that before. But so if you've been trying to get in touch with us, because we didn't even know until someone emailed us and said, hey, I can't get through to you guys, what's going on? Hi, Miss Nilichi. And so that's what's going on. Our phone lines have been down. I'm hopeful that it's going to be back. So if you're not able to get through, or someone is calling and they're not able to get through, please reach out to us. Unfortunately, we don't take calls on WhatsApp, but you can text us on WhatsApp, and Lydia will be sure to reach out to you, or contact us on social media, or send us an email if you're a current client. But that's what's going on. That's what we've had to experience today. So bear with us as we try to, they try to figure out what's been going on. But anyway, all right. If you need to contact us, 334-341-4475, @olalayalawfirm.com. That's another way you can reach us through our website, info@olalayalawfirm.com. Reach out. We do quite a number of different types of immigration cases. I don't do every type. For instance, I don't do detained cases at all. But more than ever, you need a partner. Thank you. You need a partner to work this immigration journey with you. So as we work together and also pray, believing that God is going to sanction everything. And talking of that, congratulations to Mr. O.A. Yeah, to Mr. O.A., who's, there's those kind of cases where that is just by the grace of God. You just know that. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, like there's none of it that's 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 anyway. But there's some cases you just know that God makes it very clear that you're just merely an instrument in His hands, and He's going to make His let me see, I don't know, it's so dark on TikTok. It's going that His glory would be known. So Mr. O.A.'s case, when you hear of a 204C allegation, a 204C allegation is basically a sham marriage allegation that is a permanent bar from ever getting an immigration benefit approved. If USCIS makes that allegation, and you're supposed to prove that you don't have any substantial or probative evidence, it's a very high bar. I can count on one hand how many cases we've been able to successfully do with 204C. It is just, and there's no waiver for a 204C allegation. And the effect of that is, even if you get remarried, your new relationship, you've got like 200 kids together, it doesn't matter what amount of evidence you have in your current case. If USCIS comes and says that there's an allegation of 204C from a previous case, that's it. No matter what, you're not getting approved in any of the new cases. So that's what he had in his case. His current marriage was fine, but it was a 204C allegations, and he was permanently barred. Came to us with less than 3 weeks to respond to that. Yo, when I saw approved, I was like, what? Because it's like, but that was just God's grace. So if God is able to turn things around for him, then trust and believe that there's nothing that is going on in your case that God cannot redeem and turn and restore. So congratulations to Mr. OA. We rejoice with you. And we believe and agree in faith that we're going to have many reasons to rejoice with one another this month and beyond in Jesus' name. All right, let's talk immigration, y'all. Follow us, like, follow, share, subscribe. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn at Olale Immigration. Let's talk immigration, y'all. What we're talking about? Just trying to get you some updates. Thank you, Ms. Anna Sanctuary. God alone will deserve all the glory. I'm telling you, I'm like, because sometimes you go back and you read your argument, like, okay, I think it was convincing, but then you remember now, you've made some much more convincing arguments before, but God just decided He's going to show mercy to whom He decides to show mercy, and so that's just how life is. All right. If you're just joining us for the first time, if we have enough time, hello, Miss Peggy. We get to questions. Hey, Miss Malavi, how are you? At the end of the topic, so just put your questions in your comment section. Do not repeat questions, please. If you repeat your question, it's going to be skipped completely. So put your question in the comment section, and I'll go around and try to answer as many questions. It's good to be back because we're out Thursday. I was in New York City, one of my favorite cities ever in this world. All right. What we're talking about tonight, immigration updates, immigration edition. Congratulations. Next line, Jesus. Amen. Amen. Updates, immigration edition. So what's been going on? Quite a bit. Because you already know, but this admin, we always have one thing or the other, right? So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about, well, quite a bit, but nothing that we haven't heard. One of the things that one is not do is this crazy idea of a pilot program for, don't open the door for that woman. We'll get to that one, Manisha. I'm telling you, maybe that's why I have a cold, because when people stress you, they're going to come down with a cold. That one has stress. So this administration is looking into starting a pilot program for those who are applying for B1, B2 visas. So basically, hello, Miss Khadija. It was great seeing you today. So this program is going to be, basically, it's their checks and balances on those who are from countries where there is a high rate of overstays in the United States. So basically, if you are from the country where you've got a high rate of people who come to the United States and they overstay and they're trying to find a way to stay back in the United States, they're trying to start that pilot program in those countries. And you already know, if you're Nigerian like I am, we already know we're probably number one on the list. Because first of all, look at, if you think about it, for instance, Nigeria hasn't qualified for DV lottery in quite a while. Why? Because we've got quite a high number of immigrants in the United States. That's why we haven't qualified. So you can guarantee that we're going to be on the list of those who are going to be included in this pilot program. What is it? They are looking to have those who want to apply for a B1, B2 visa. This is crazy, right? To have them pay a bond between $5,000 and $15,000. I don't know, it doesn't matter for what stand for. Between $5,000 and $15,000. So their goal, the claim, is to prevent people from coming to the United States and overstaying their visa. So if you're going, it's going to be discretionary. So if you go for an interview, the adjudicating officer believes that you're going to be potentially an overstay, you're going to not come back, even if you have proof of strong ties. It just feels like they have conviction in their spirit that you're not coming back. That consular officer can actually require that applicant to pay a bond between the amount of $5,000 and $15,000, and they will get it back as long as they return to the country. So if you return to the country, you'll be able to get that back. If you do not return to the country and you stay back in the United States, you're going to forfeit that, or you can get it back when you become a citizen. They want to put that in place for a period of 12 months to see how that's going to go. I think it's just one of the ploy to just try to initiate the travel ban without necessarily saying it's a travel ban. Because who is that desperate to come to the United States and put down $5,000 or $15,000 just so you can come here on pleasure tourism or on YouTube or maybe conference or whatever the case may be, and then go back? I mean, if anybody has $15,000 just lying around, can you just actually transfer it to my account? Because I would stay in my country. Because yeah, so that's one of the things they're trying to start. It's not in effect yet, but it would not be surprising. I mean, this people just come up with all trying to make their own laws without running it through the proper channel. So that's that on that. Now on Friday, USCIS released a policy. They included some policies in the policy manual that has to do with family-based petitions. There was another one for refugees and asylum seekers. I'm not going to go into that because majority of people have family-based applications pending. So in a nutshell, what is it that they released and how does it apply to you? In a nutshell, USCIS is looking to schedule interviews for almost all cases. So they went through the list of those that they will be required to have interviews. That would include someone who has been a party to a previous application, someone if they believe that your evidence is not sufficient in spite of your response to an RFE or NOID, they can call you in for an interview. If you have been a party to a previous application that was either denied, withdrawn, terminated, expect that they'll call you for an interview. If they believe that your case is, if there's any inclination that it's a fraudulent marriage, excuse me one second, people. Be ready for them to call you for an interview as well. This is the part that you need to know. They're very, very clear now that in spite of having a petition that's been filed on your behalf, or green card application, that does not prevent USCIS from issuing you a notice to European Immigration Court. Let me say that again. It used to be under previous administrations that because you have a pending application, for instance, a pending I-485, basically authorizes you to stay in the country while your case is pending. That's why you're able to file an advanced parole application, and you're able to travel without jeopardizing your or abandon your application when you come back in with advanced parole, right? Now they're saying, in spite of that, as long as you do not have any status and a pending petition or application does not prevent you from being removed, if that immigrant is removable, they will issue a notice to European Immigration Court in spite of your pending case. And we have started seeing that actually. So and I know a lot of people, we've got questions about that. It's not like they're just going to put you on a plane and deport you. NTA is basically issuing you a notice to European Immigration Court. But we're seeing that some of those cases, some of those judges are trying to move those cases along and schedule master. For instance, I had a case last week that on Friday, I had to get a colleague to stand in because on the Wednesday, 2 days before July 30, there was no hearing set for my client. Fast forward, I take that back. On Monday, July 28th, no hearing scheduled for my client. Fast forward 2 days after, on Wednesday, July 30, just checked the ER case status again. Hearing scheduled for what? 2 days after, August 1st. So imagine if we didn't even check, then it would be a case where attorney didn't show up, respondent didn't show up. What's going to follow? An order removal in absentia. So if you've got a pending case or you had a previous case that was denied, do yourself a favor. Yes, 2 days before, do yourself a favor and at least once a week put in your alien number. Your alien number is your 9-digit number on the EOIR website. If you just put in EOIR case status on Google, it would take you to the page. Put that in, and so you're able to know whether or not you have been placed in removal proceedings, because we're seeing a whole lot of stuff happening now. So that's that on that. So, and if you're removable, they're saying in spite of having a pending case, we can place in removal proceedings. And the next update is special immigrant juvenile status cases. They are doing, there is going to be, or there's already investigation going on relating to CGs. That's what we call CGs, special immigrant juvenile case petitions. What is that? What is the CGs? It's basically for people who are juveniles and under the age of 21 and still within the jurisdiction of the juvenile court in your state, where a juvenile judge is able to declare that child, an immigrant's child who doesn't have any status, dependent as to either one parent or both parents, based on the fact that either one parent or both parents has abandoned, excuse me, neglected or abused the child, and it is in the best interest of the child not to be returned to their home country, and then they appoint a guardian or they award custody to the other parent that's available, and based on what we call a predicate order with specific dependency findings, then that child, as long as the child is under the age of 21, becomes eligible to apply for the special immigrant juvenile status and file the petition with USCIS. Once it is approved, then that child, and you've got a priority date that is current or visa number available, that child can now file for green card based on that approved CG's petition. Guess what's going on with that? They are doing a lot of investigation into that because this administration believes that it is one of those areas where a lot of applicants do not qualify. They're saying that majority of people who actually are filing for CGs are over the age of 18, some over the age of 21, and they're trying to figure that out. They're claiming that a lot of the petitioners are not being truthful and they're just using it to circumvent immigration law. So there is quite a bit and heavy investigation when it comes to CG's petitions. And another thing is this, effective sometime back in June, it used to be that once you have that CG's petition approved, that child or young adult is protected by being granted deferred action. What deferred action does is it guarantees that immigrant child is not placed in removal proceedings as long as they have that deferred action. With this administration 2 months ago, they decided to strip CG's petitioners of that protection so that now they do not get deferred action protection even after the I-360 is approved. What does that mean? That means that if there's a reason to believe that CG's petitioner, that child, that young adult, is removable in spite of an approved I-360 CG's petition, they can now be placed in removal proceedings because they no longer have that protection. And with CGs, it's categorized under the employment-based EB-4. Right now, it's been classified as unauthorized, meaning that there are no visa numbers even available for anyone to even file a green card application. So you're just in limbo. So if you've got a child that that's going through that or has a CG's petition has been approved, you want to have a talk with them and make sure that they know where they're heading. Just don't hang out with the wrong people, because if they pick you up, that's it. There's no protection anymore. Okay, let's see. So bond, the new policy. Yeah, they keep talking about fraud. Yeah. All right. Oh, one more thing. There is an uptick in people filing citizenship applications and USCIS probing into your green card file. if you got your green card through marriage and now you're filing for citizenship, they are actually actively using that opportunity of you filing for naturalization to review your green card application based on the fact that they're claiming they're trying to find fraud and to prevent that and to investigate that. I cannot even tell you how many people within the last 60 days I've had to consult with that had a NOID or request for evidence that had nothing to do with the naturalization application itself, but the way they got their green card. There's one I met with today. It was just really bad. They claiming that the marriage itself was a sham marriage. It was like a 7-page notice of intent to deny or thereabout. So nothing about the citizenship, was just them saying, oh, we should not have approved your green card because we believe it was a sham marriage. So be aware that that's something we're seeing an uptick in. If you've got anything that especially for maybe divorce decree, or there's a reason to believe that your marriage, that investigation would raise red flags, you may be better off just waiting until this admin is over before you file for citizenship, or just talk to an attorney and see what they tell you. And that's all she wrote, people. Trying to breathe through the talk and all that. So, but I'm good. I'm not tired. I just have a cold, and it just really messes with my sinuses and all that. Okay, let's get to questions. As many as I can take before I'm out of breath. We'll see. Okay. Oh my goodness. Hello, Miss Ify. Oh, I didn't know it was you. Thank you for the referral. Thank you for the referral. It was just, well, obviously I didn't mention the name, but thank you for the referral. I really do appreciate that. We were able to have a very lengthy, it was an hour consult, so it was great meeting the whole family and all that. And I know that everybody's kind of not worried, which is very concerning, understandably so. But there is nothing too difficult for God to do. That's absolutely nothing too difficult for Him to do. He created the entire universe. So what can possibly be impossible for God to take care of? But thank you. I appreciate the referral. I actually get more consults from referral than even at the ads that we run. I've been trying to think of what we should suggestion. What should we do for this birthday month? So it's birthday month this month, and then in October we're going to be having our 10-year anniversary for 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 law firm. I cannot believe that it's been 10 years that I just woke up one day and said, you know what? I'm about to leave this marriage. So my butt has to figure out how to make a living. And I'm good in immigration. Baba God, hear me loud and clear. I have no, don't even know how I'm going to pay my first month's office rent. But I know that you've got me. I tell you that when there's some things that I look back on and I know it was just radical faith. But sometimes the radical faith comes in because you just don't have a choice. Like you've got no choice but to do something. And you know that all you've got is just your faith and the skills God has given you. So we're coming up on 10 years in October, just like that. It's, and the funny thing is, not funny thing, but this was one of my confirmation back then. The day that I signed my lease, October 27, 2015, the day I signed my lease is the day my dad passed away. And from that day, that very day, not the day after, not the same day, for the last 10 years, I have been seeing, when I'm trying to figure out something, when I'm praying, when I'm looking for direction and I'm looking for confirmation, I see the number 1111 111 1111. If you look at my phone, it's got screenshots of 1111 111. It's on me for the last. I had to start, saving it on my own in iCloud, but that's not a coincidence. That was just God. And when you've got, people say we've got you king, then there's no going. There's no going lower. That's not because you already know that you're going to head to court, and the one thing this person can use to hold you down in this marriage is the money. You got to figure out how to make it, and you're coming from being a stay-at-home mom for 10 plus years to going back in the workforce with zero but the skills God has given you and your faith. And when I tell you radical faith, and that's why I always say, I don't care what it takes. You cannot convince me otherwise that God doesn't exist, because I have seen him at work. When everything looks impossible, there was no family, no friend. It was just me and God. And he showed up. Tell me no more. Can't tell me anything that there's no God. You cannot. It's been a while. It's good to hear you again. Thank you, Miss Ify. Thank you so much. It would have been great to see you, but I think you were trying to. Yeah, but we were able to discuss at length. Look good. Thank you. Thank you. Hello from hello, Flavor. Massive blessings for all you do. I mean, little continuous. Thank you. I always love your sum of words, encouraging to keep your listeners hope. This has been the reason I'm always glued to my headset watching. Bless your heart for the good job you're doing. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Melvis. How are you? Alafia and Moa. Thank you, Miss Abena. Thanks for what. Yes, so we go live every Tuesdays and Thursdays. We were not live last Thursday because I had to take TJ. All you TJ and TJ aunties, internet aunties of TJs, they're like, okay, see, you're gonna take TJ for his own vacation, and y'all happy now? Y'all happy? She don't need to do the same. Roll my eyes. How much did y'all contribute to it? Just. But anyway, so Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. That's what God can do. Yes, yes. Asking for a friend. Here we go. He got his 5-year EAD today and lost it today. I know it's not funny, but what? Applying for replacement, worrying if the validity will remain the same when they're approved. It will remain the same. Because he's got that. He's not applying for a new one. He's applying for a replacement. So he obviously is going to send in a copy of his approval notice and all that. Hello, Miss Miriam. How are you? There's been so many changes this year with immigration, but let's hold on to our faith and know there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Preaching, Miss Abena. Hello, Camille. Happy new month. Okay. I'm trying to read you. If I-485 is held in abeyance for I-360 and you find that the spouse was written to withdraw pending I-130, will I-485 be denied and issued? Generally, it should not. I can't speak to your case. And so general information, nothing specific to anyone's case. I can't speak to your case because I don't know anything about your case, but generally should not, because you've already requested, as long as they granted our request. You've already requested for them to transfer the underlying basis of your I-485 to your I-360. So even if the I-130 is withdrawn, or even if it was not even withdrawn, it would end up being denied anyway, because there's nothing, no one is pursuing it anymore. So it should not, and I'm not saying it will, it should not, generally, it should not. I recently received an I-360 that was denied. I filed a motion to reconsider. How long would that take? We see that I-290B can take anywhere from 2 months to about 6 months. Hello, Pastor Isaac. How are you? Okay. Any update on new visa? How long? I've done new visas. So, asking for a friend. Okay, I deal when you're a friend. I'm a lot of our friends, Isha. But okay. An immigrant will overstay their V1B2 by 11 months and wants to return to their home country. Will this affect their application to other countries? I cannot speak to other countries. I don't practice immigration law in other countries. The one thing I would say, however, is some countries, like for instance, US, Canada, UK. Now, that was before this administration, because they've messed up a lot of relationship. They would share information with one another. So sometimes people would, have information with the U.S. government, and then they apply for UK visa, and they're wondering how did the UK government know about what they had done with the U.S. Government. That's why. So, but I can't speak to that. Obviously, someone who has stayed 11 months, they have definitely triggered the 10-year bar. If they leave the country, they will be barred from coming in for at least 10 years because they overstayed. I take that back. They haven't overstayed. Not they've triggered the 3 year bar. 11 months. See, I went to law school, so I don't have to do math. But 11 months is not a year yet, so they haven't reached a year. If they reach a year before they leave the country, however, they will trigger the 10 year bar. For right now, at the very least, they have triggered the 3 year bar, meaning if they leave, they won't be able to come back in for at least 3 years, and then they have to apply for readmission. All right, let's see. Let me go to TikTok. What's the time? 19. I think I'm going to go to bed early tonight, y'all, because I have a lot of work to do. Oh, by the way, if you sent me an email last week and it's been more than 72 hours and you haven't received a response, do yourself and me a favor and resend the email, because I have over 2,000 emails. I just cannot possibly go through that just resend the email, especially if it's something that's time pressing. Please, Ashako and get resend. I gave someone your number. I've given so many people that. Oh, that reminds me. Thank you very much. I just saw your name right there. Okay. Hi, just did my biometrics 15 days ago. When will I get an interview for Penny 45? That's not a question I can answer. What is the meaning of e-verify? Electronic verification of the employment verification. Can overstay visa apply for asylum? As long as you're still within the statutory period of a year or you fall within the exemptions, yes. Keeping in mind that those who are applying for asylum now are getting interviews being scheduled much faster than people who even had their cases pending. Can someone tell me on Facebook or YouTube? My IT guy did something to my laptop because I was telling him that it's always very dark. So he did something to the laptop, and on my end, it looks like it's brighter. Can someone confirm on YouTube or Facebook? It looks like it's brighter. I don't know. I don't know tech stuff. I pay people to do that. Now, if we're going to argue till Jesus comes back, that's my forte. That one I can handle. But I think it looks brighter to me. So, okay, let me see. Someone is telling me. It's crystal clear and bright. So I got to pay him his money. I already paid him. Money, it's 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. No. So, perfect. Oh, okay. So I guess he knew what he was talking, because I was like, I always tell people, don't be offended. If I tell you, hey, don't be offended, but just know that there's no intention to offend you. But I'm going to tell you what I think and what I feel. So I already said, don't be offended, but I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus, here we go. So I was like, I don't see the difference. I really don't. So now I got to eat my words, right? Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Hello, Miss Mackie. How are you? You look so fit. Do you work out? I've been working out this summer. I've been working out, and I'm building muscle, trying not to build, because my oldest son has been training me, and he can hear me. He's been training me. How long have we been doing this? Like what? It's been over a month now, right? It's been training me the whole summer. Like, I could not do, what was it I couldn't do when we started? Push-ups? Huh? Okay. And I can do it now. Hey, Miss Shane. I'm working on your case, so you should hear from me no later than weekend. I can releasing, we don't judge. I could not do push-ups to save my life. But now I can actually not bench press, but I'm like, what? So don't even try me. Don't even try me. So that's my son is into fitness. So my kids are actually into me, because TJ now has 6-pack. He went from 1-pack to 6-pack. My prima facie determination letter is 5 for 5 months. Is 5 for 5 months. I don't understand your question. I have family code questions. What family code questions? Disclaimer. Thank you, Ms. Mike. I've been out of status for about 2 years now. Can I still go for asylum? That's very risky. Very, very risky under this administration. Unless you have an exemption, a solid exemption why you didn't file within the first year of entry. I was interviewed for my naturalization and I passed, but officers did not make a decision. It's been formal. So what's your question? Let me put this so I can see. Okay. I had my AOS interview 4 months ago and I'm yet to get an approval notice. Should I be worried? No, because if that's the case, then even I have cases in my firm that we've got someone had their interview back in December 2024. We've called, excuse me. We've called congressional assistance requests. We no longer have ombudsman, so we can't do that. And we're just waiting patiently. And I already told him it's going to get to a point where if you're looking at a year, you may want to start considering filing a lawsuit. Mandamus still works. So 4 months, I won't even worry about that. So how long can my parents stay on a visiting visa? Their visa is not what controls how long they can stay. What controls how long they can stay in the country is the I-94. So once they come in, go online, get a copy of their recent I-94. It will tell you what date they're authorized to stay. To what date they're authorized to stay. Is disorderly conduct a crime involving moral turpitude? Generally, it's not. But keep in mind, each state has its own definition of what that could be. In my state in Alabama, it could be different from where you may be. I don't know what state, but you want to sit down with a lawyer to make sure that it's not something that's going to become an issue. It's taking long for me to get my 10 years green card. I applied for VA. What do you mean? How taking long based on what? Okay, so if you're talking about your VA case is still pending, we're even seeing one of the things we're seeing them do is issuing requests for evidence, like very generic requests for evidence. The only difference from yours to someone else's is just maybe what they're putting an asterisk or X on, and I think it's just to buy themselves time, but it's taking quite a bit. Oh, so you have the VA already approved? Anything about travel? That's not a question I'm going to answer. I have an RFE on shared residency in good faith. I'm assuming that's a VA case. The only submitted lease and insurance policy. What do I have to submit again? Basically, I just have affidavit from my friends. If that's all you have, then you just submit that. If you're in doubt, then you may want to take the time to sit down with a lawyer and not try to guess. Because once you have an RFE, that's basically your last shot before a decision is made. You want to maximize your chances. Okay, let's go to Instagram. Yes, my baby boy. Hello from San Francisco. Gagastical 112. Thank you for joining. From Atlanta. That I'm telling you, that aboniki will make you sleep so good. Just put it on your and it's hot. I mean, but it will dry up the whole entire system in your head. Thank you. Mr. Kelvin, how are you? Shalafia Lewa. Mr. Calvin, have you finally traveled? Are you still haven't traveled? Hello, beautiful Miss Nelechi. How are you? Hello, Miss Amomi. How's my angel doing? Yes, and oh, thank you, Mr. Nesangchu. We represent immigration clients in all 50 states. Once again, our phone lines were down this today. We're hopeful they will be back on tomorrow. So call us at 334-341-4475. You can also visit our website, olalealawfirm.com. Info at olalealawfirm.com is our email address. Best best thing right now is probably to send a text message to Lydia on WhatsApp and so if you need to contact us. But if you're a current client, email us and we'll be to respond to that email. Okay. I'm loving this outfit and earring. Your skin is immaculate. Thank you. I make my own moisturizer and I think it makes a difference. But I say making moisturizer. I mean, I can be self-sufficient. I say making moisturizer because of my kid. It's amazing what mothers will come up with. The baby TJ, when he was born, he reacted to, he broke out to every moisturizer you can think of. Everything was highly sensitive skin. Broke out to everything, even a vino. I was like, okay, there's got to be something that I can do. Your brain is just trying to figure out. Like, as a mom, you want to help your kid. Got on YouTube, like, there's got to be some natural cure to this craziness that's going on with him. So that was what, almost 15 years ago now. Fast forward, I've been doing that in the last 15 years. That has worked in a knock on wood for his skin. And I just started using it for myself. I'm like, okay, you can take care of your child. You can take care of yourself too. My friend probably gave me a call. That lady's issues. I want to support you. Telling you. I didn't be carrying last. Hello, Miss Mayo. How are you? Because who's going to pay that $50,000, up to $50,000 for what, for U.S. visitor visa? Accolade yo. I mean, well, I'm just saying. Let's see. Make sure I don't miss anyone's question. So much taking. There's a lot going on each and every day. We just have to try to keep up. I'm telling you. I don't even. I have so many subscriptions because I need to know what's going on. I need to know. Hope you feel better. Thank you. What are you gonna be fine with? Well, your prayers would just be enough for us. We thank God. Double celebration. Congratulations. Yes. It's always a double celebration each year, 2021. And then I have a nephew, Tosi, who's actually August 22nd. So we got three people back to back like that in our family. It's like, and all three of us have very, very feisty personalities. There, I say that. It is what it is. 10 years, and also double celebration for birthday and the law firm. Yes, thank you. 10 years later, look at God. Hmm. I'm telling you, the day will come that we'll have a whole time to talk about my story. Y'all were like, Auntie, didn't your man smile? I know. I smile because I know that God has taken me through it. Mm, mm, mm. I smile because I know that at the end of it all, and that's why I'm able to tell people and be able to say, not just because it's something to just say, well, yeah, it's good to encourage other people, but when you have walked the path and you've seen God's grace and His mercy and His faithfulness and His word that says that you would, His plan is, for good, not of evil, to bring you to an expected end. and you trust and believe and hold on to that, especially when there's nothing else for you to hold on to. When you begin to see his manifestation in your life, then you know it's not because of anything you have done, but because of grace. And grace, that grace is more than sufficient from each and every one of us. Thank you, Miss Becky. An immigrant who overstayed. Okay, that's the same question by 11 months. Thank you, Miss Jane. So God, amen. I made a mistake on my I-45. I filed in the wrong form, but I sent an email to USCIS and got an email that they have effected that to my case. Is this okay? What do you mean you made a mistake by filing the wrong form? What form are you filing with the I-45? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking me. If one has an I-130 petition ongoing for 13 months now, that is citizen son, filing for mom who lives in Nigeria, can a request of a visitor visa affect the, because I tried requesting, I mean, she can always apply for a visitor visa, but they have the discretion to deny simply because she is the beneficiary of an immigrant petition, but it doesn't prevent her from applying. We say thank you on behalf of TG. Now we're happy. Emma Kwelel, Miss Peggy. Iro, Ekpelegani. And again, bring your contributions. So does an immediate relative under 16 years get stamped in as a citizen or green card green card holder, because you have to be a legal permanent resident first. If someone has a valid case and just received their permit, can they get a state ID with that? Ms. Malabi, it would depend on the state. Each state is different. I'll tell you, in my state, in Alabama, a PFD is not going to get your state ID. You have to have your EAD. And I'm hopeful that we'll get it soon. It's just the wait is crazy. But you can ask. You're in a different state, so see if that they would allow you to do that. Every state is different. Some states would actually even let you get a state ID or driver's license with just your receipt notices. So yeah. It changed my wait period from 7 months to 11 months. My question is, there a relationship between those requests? Because Miss Kenna never requested for this visa again. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, that's a question. Thank you, Miss Secretary, because I just saw that question was repeated twice. Oh, Miss Abena, it's brighter. Okay, because I know you're on YouTube. All right, I'll keep the guy, because I ain't gonna tell him sorry though. Am I supposed to tell him sorry, like, because I said I wasn't no difference on the. Anyway, this is as free as it gets. It's something we're trying to get to. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Miss Shahid. Cassie. Okay, I don't want to mess up your name, but good evening. Okay. Filed for VAWA September 2023, went for biometrics for February 2024. Up to now, no response. By next month, it'll be 2 years. That's still, you're still very early, because right now they're at 42 and a half months. The other day was 43 months. Yeah. You got to have like 200 seats, because there are a lot of people that filed cases in 2020, 2021, 22. That's what they're dealing with. So 20, you got to sit down, have 200 seats, and they'll get to you. Your case is still way within the more pressing time. Hello, Miss Tenier. How are you? Oh, thank you, Miss Abena. Yes. So we're gonna have a whole lot of seats, because right now, religious workers forum and CGs look alike. It's not like they look alike. It's the same I-360, the same one used for VISE, the same used for your religious worker, and for the CGs as well as the I-360, and the religious worker and CGs, they are under the EB4. So yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Is there a way to expedite EAD? You can ask USCIS, as long as you have basis for it, meaning financial hardship, severe hardship, some kind of hardship, humanitarian reasons, things like that. Yes. It's been 2 years, 8 months since I had an I3, so I'm not sure if that's the same person, but if you haven't reached 42 and a half months yet, you're fine. You're fine. There's nothing to worry about. And I would not have answered your question because I see you just repeated it like 5 times. Okay. All right, people. I think that is sufficient for the day. Is the trouble thereof. Hey, Google Live from Birmingham, Alabama. All right. Thank you for joining. But it is going to be a great month. This is August. An amazing month. It is a month that we're going to share testimonies. Mark my words, not because of any power that I have, or because I know that God's grace is sufficient, that's going to give each and every one of us that which is our secret heart desires. Come August 31st, we're going to have many more testimonies this month than we've had the whole year combined, because God is going to show up in ways that we've never imagined. You may have been experiencing. I had a client they reopened the case, and then the next thing they denied the case as well. It really um, um, troubling and all, yes. But I told her, I said, listen, that's what the enemy wants you to do. The enemy wants to keep you where you are sad. The enemy wants to keep you where they can steal your joy and steal your happiness. But because I'm a strong believer in God bringing us a mighty long way, and because the Bible is very clear that there's nothing He starts that He cannot finish, is not a God of incompletion. He is a God of completion. He starts it and He will finish it. He starts it and He must finish it. That's what His word has promised. He's not man that He should lie. If He promised it, He will do it. So, but one thing I always tell myself, He hasn't promised us a specific time frame, but He has promised us an expected end. The question is, are we going to be patient to wait and get to that expected end? So I was telling her, Miss Emma, like, this is it right now. We're going to regroup and we're going to go back to the drawing board, because I know that down the road, your testimony is about to be much greater than you anticipated, because then you've got many more things to testify to how God turned things around. I've seen Him do that several times, and I know that he hasn't stopped. He's not looking, he's not scarce and lacking in blessings and in breakthroughs. He's got more than plenty for each and every one of us. So we know and believe that we're going to see His goodness and His mercy. There is nothing like God's goodness and mercy. When His goodness and mercy finds you, favor follows you. Even your enemies will be mandated to favor you. Those who are going to decide on our cases, whichever office it is, they would have to favor us, because God has said so. So trust and believe. Dare to hope against hope that this month you're going to see God's goodness like you've never done before. Thank you for joining always. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye, everybody.